Hey, my name's Nick Valesky with the USU Extension Integrated Pest Management Program. Let's talk about the Diamondback moth. The Diamondback moth attacks plants exclusively in the brassica family, including broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, collards, kale, kohlrabi, radish, rutabaga, turnips, and many related weed species. The Diamondback moth larva is often confused with the cabbage looper and imported cabbage worm. But no, they are a lot smaller and feed a lot less. But they make up for this with their abundant numbers. Larvae are a small caterpillar less than half an inch when they're fully grown. They are pale green with the hind pair of prolegs conspicuously protruding. They are very active and wiggle vigorously and drop on the plant when they are disturbed. Adults have generally gray wings when they are folded over the body and show a series of white diamond patterns on its back. The larvae chew holes in the leaves and occasionally cause serious defoliation. Initially, feeding is concentrated on the outer leaves, but as the caterpillars mature, the feeding intensifies, and they will often move into the developing heads, creating tunnels. Contaminations of the leaves and heads with the bodies, larvae and the frass of the fecal matter lowers the produce quality. In northern areas, the Diamondback moth overwinters as pupae, with adults emerging and becoming active in the early spring. In southern areas, the development may be continuous throughout the whole year. Eggs are laid singly or in small groups on host plants. Young larvae typically feed on the undersides of the leaves and produce window pane-like injuries. Pupation occurs in a loose cocoon usually attached to the outer side of the leaves. To monitor, scout for the larvae and pupa on the leaves of susceptible plants at the seedling stage during the crop thinning and just before the head formation. Select 10 mature, unfolded leaves, but not old or discolored, from 10 different areas across the field. 100 leaves total. Inspect the leaves for that window pane damage, the larvae, and the pupa themselves. Pheromone traps can be used to monitor adult populations for the Diamondback moth and cabbage loopers. Traps indicate when adults have arrived in the area and give an indication of their relative numbers. Experience with pheromone trapping for Diamondback moths in northern Utah has showed us that the moth numbers can be very high in areas of commercial vegetable production operation as opposed to home gardens. So place the traps along the edge just above the crop canopy. Traps and lures can be purchased online. See below for a list of retailers. When monitoring, pay attention to the border rows that are next to fields. They have high populations of Diamondback moths as there's high weed populations. Adults commonly migrate to new areas from fields that have been recently harvested or disked underneath. To manage, you can just hand pick or destroy the larvae. Plant early or use maturing varieties. Mature plants can tolerate feeding damage better than the young seedlings. At the end of the season, remove plant debris both inside and outside the high tunnel at the end of the growing season, as it may serve as an overwintering site for various growth stages of the caterpillar pest. Plant tolerant varieties, mustard, turnip, and kohlrabi are among the more tolerant brassicas for Diamondback moth. Glossy green brassica varieties that lack the normal waxy grayish green bloom are somewhat resistant because the larvae spend more time searching and less time feeding on those glossy leaves. Tilling the soil in the spring or fall in the production site can disrupt and destroy overwintering pupa and reduce their population for the following season. Weeds growing near your garden site can provide a food source for these caterpillar pests. Removing cool season weeds can help starve young caterpillars. Lamb's quarter and wild mustards are attractive to the plants for egg laying. Use row covers to prevent egg laying by the adults. Place row covers over the plants or over metal hoops for support, just after planting or transplanting. Ensure the edges of the row cover are securely buried in the soil along the crop row. Natural enemies that can provide effective control of Diamondback moths include parasitoid wasps such as the echinidid wasp and the braconid wasp, which attack the eggs. Generalist insect predators such as ground beetles, Jew bugs, syrphid fly larvae, lacewing larvae, paper wasps, and spiders also play a role in reducing Diamondback moth numbers. Insecticide resistance has become a challenge to management of brassica caterpillar pests, especially the Diamondback moth. Rotating insecticides with different modes of actions can help slow the development of resistance. In general, insecticides are more effective against the small, young larvae rather than the older caterpillars. Early timing of sprays will also help decrease contamination of the plant heads with insect bodies and frass. Once caterpillars penetrate a cabbage head, they are difficult to reach with treatments. A general treatment threshold for head-forming plants is very low. Treat the plants when one larva has been found on 25 to 50 plants, or when 10% of the plants have at least one larva. Non-head-forming plants can tolerate a higher population. For more information about managing caterpillars in our brassica crops, check out our website extension.usu.edu/pests for a lot more resources and information, and feel free to reach out to us with any questions.